Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen and this is Karen's Nitpicks. So it's been like a little over a month since I last did a podcast episode. In between, I did my everything I knit in my first year of knitting. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that one, I will add it over here so you can go and check it out. Yeah, so it's been a little while. I have a couple of things to share. I've been spending a lot of my time focusing on gift knits, so in general my knitting has been a little bit slower than usual, but yeah, I've got a couple of things that I'm really excited about, so I am just gonna get into it. So I'm not gonna repeat anything that I shared in my everything I made in my first year of knitting, so this is just gonna be stuff that I haven't shared before that, or yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. So the first thing that I have to share as one finished object, which is some socks. I just pulled these off of the sock, well, they're still on the sock blockers, but I just finished blocking them this morning. They're all dry. These are a pair of socks for my dad for Christmas. And yeah, I think they turned out really cute. So I used the wide rib sock set pattern from Summer Lee, and I really liked them. I think the 4x4 rib is really nice for socks, especially for a gift knit, because it's kind of hard to tell with socks how well they're gonna fit if you don't know someone's exact like foot measurements. So I feel like this was a really safe pattern to use for a gift pair of socks, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. This was also my first time doing a contrast cuff and toe, and I think they look really good. For some reason, like, the idea of weaving in additional ends on a sock is like really unappealing to me, but I decided to try it out and it was not so bad on this pair, but I probably will not do it very often. Yeah, it was not the most like pleasant experience, especially because this base yarn is like so dark. Like, it was just very hard to see what I was doing, and then having extra things to think about weaving in, it was like a little bit too much for my brain when I was doing it. But yeah, I'm very happy with these, so I'm gonna get them in the mail this week so that they can reach my dad in time for Christmas, because I won't be with my family for Christmas this year. So I'm gonna mail all my gift knits out so that they get to their respective owners. And yeah, oh, and then the yarn that I used for this was Cascade Heritage Sock yarn. So I think the main color is called charcoal, and then the contrast color is called natural or something like that. It's just like the white base. So yeah, I love it. I'm really happy with these, and I don't love making socks, I'll be honest, but these were nice to make. They took me forever, but they were nice. So that's the only finished object that I have for this episode. I do have a couple of whips though, so I'm gonna get into those. And I also kind of want to be quick because I feel like my episodes have been so long lately, and sometimes I want like a 25-30 minute episode, you know. I don't always want to sit and watch a video for like 45 minutes, so I'm gonna try and be quick on this one. So next up from my whip pile is the Moby Sweater Man by Petite Knit. I am making this for Andrew, my fiance, and so far it's turning out really nicely. So I blocked this once. I did a full wet block just because I was really unsure about the sizing. So the first time that I started working on this, I read the like bust measurements wrong. So I started knitting him like the completely wrong size and had to frog all of the work that I had done. I was like almost done with the back yoke and I had to frog everything. So in my attempt to avoid doing that, I decided to block it, do a full block, and make sure that it was going to fit him properly, which it does. So I felt confident to move on once I finished the yoke and then join in the round. So far, I'm very happy with this. This is my first pattern that is like not super straightforward, and it's been definitely a challenge for me. I've made quite a few mistakes between having to bounce back from reading the charts and then jumping to check the directions and make sure that I'm knitting to the correct lengths and things like that. So this is the first project where I have like truly done a lot of frogging on it, but I think it's so worth it, especially because it's going to be a gift. It's not for me. I mean, something that I'm making for myself, I think I care a lot less about it being perfect, but this one I feel like I should make a better effort to make it the best it can possibly be. So yeah, so far I'm very happy with it. I really like the way it's turning out. I cannot wait to keep working on it. I just joined in the round, so I only have like, I don't know, half an inch, maybe an inch of work. I haven't worked on it too much this month because I was trying to focus on finishing the pair of socks that I just shared. So this one will be my main focus now. I was hoping to finish it by Christmas, but I don't think I will because Christmas is in like 20 days and that's so soon. But we'll see, maybe by the end of the year. And what else? So for this I'm using the recommended yarn, which is Sannes Garn Pure Gint in the color Forest Green. And I mech gauge, so I'm using the 4mm needle. And yeah, overall, I mean, the pattern is easy to follow. It's really fun to knit on, although the yoke has definitely, I mean, gave my hands a run for their money. Like, I don't normally have like hand pain or wrist pain when I am knitting, but this particular project has given me a lot of pain in like my thumb and, you know, this part of my hand. So something to be wary of. I think it's just the combination of the really like coarse wool and the small needle size, and there's a lot of purling on this particular project when you are knitting flat. So it was definitely tough on my hands, but now that I'm joined in the round, it's been very pleasant. I think the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to knit a little bit more of the body, and then I'm going to jump to picking up for the collar, and I think I'm also going to do the sleeves first before I knit the body, and then I think that will probably be it, and then it'll be done, I guess. So we'll see how quickly I can get this done. I am very excited about it. It's going to be my most complex project to date, so I can't wait to finish it. So that is my Moby Sweater Man. Next up on my list of whips is my sweater number 15 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. Let me get myself situated. So this, where's my needle? This is where we are at. It's so cute. I love it. It really is coming out so nicely. I love the way that this looks. Ooh, she's so cute. Okay, so sweater number 15 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I am knitting this in Le Petit Lamb's Wool and Le Petit silk and mohair from Biches et Bouches, which is a Danish yarn company based in France. And I'm using for the lamb's wool, I'm using the color soft pink gray, and then the mohair is in the color very light pink. So that's these. I really love them. I think that they are just beautiful. They're exactly the color that I was going for when I was thinking about this project. I just had really wanted this like really soft pink color, and I think this yarn combination is just giving me exactly what I was looking for. So for this one, I am knitting a size small, and I forgot to mention, but the Moby Sweater Man, I'm knitting an extra large for Andrew. So sweater number 15, I'm knitting a size small. So far so good. I did meet gauge on it, so I'm not concerned about the sizing. Plus I do typically wear a size small in most of my tops, even from store-bought things, so not super concerned about the sizing. At this point, I have completed the back yoke and I finished with like the underarm increases, so I have to go and pick up for the first shoulder, which is just like always the hardest part. I also am like deeply in love with the shoulder detail. I just think it's so stunning having this, like the increases coming out of this cable on the shoulder. It's so stunning. And so far I really do love this pattern. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really nice to work on. I kind of like the repetition of doing the cables and having to kind of count in my head how many rows I've done. It's been just like very pleasant. It's not quite as mindless as like stockinette in the round, but it's pretty similar for me, and at least I feel like it's very pleasant. So I'm really enjoying working on this. Especially now that I've finished all of my gift knits, I can come back and really focus on working on this project, which I'm very excited about. So hopefully I will be able to really dive in and make some progress on this soon. Something else is I really enjoy working with this yarn combination. It's not like super soft, but it is, I don't know, it has a very nice hand feel. I think it will be okay. Like I've held my swatch up to my neck and I think it will be okay against skin. But I do typically layer a t-shirt under my sweaters no matter like what material it is. I just prefer the look of that. So I think it will be really pleasant, and I so far would absolutely purchase both of these again. I think the mohair is really nice and super soft, but I love lamb's wool in particular. I think it's one of my favorite fibers. I have a cardigan that I purchased from Alex Mill that's made of lamb's wool, and it is my most worn sweater out of literally every sweater that I own, every sweater that I've made. Like it's just my most worn piece and I love it so much. So I highly recommend working with lamb's wool. It's just such a sturdy fiber to work with. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah, pattern is super easy to work on. You know, not beginner friendly, I would say, but it's pretty like simple. If you're looking for like a first cable project, I think this is a great one to work on. Much simpler than the Moby sweater. So yeah, so far so good. And I can't wait to have this in my wardrobe. Hopefully by January this one will be all finished and ready to wear. So the next whip on my list, oh gosh, look at the light, it's so bright. I apologize for the lighting. It's, you know, winter sun is very inconsistent. So the next project on my list of whips is the Vita Sweater from Knit, and I'm very excited about this one. It is just like the most stunning pattern in the whole entire world. I am so pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoy this. So it's a charted pattern, and honestly, like, it looks complex. Like, it looks like it's going to be so difficult. And it's a lace pattern, actually, to be clear. It's a charted lace pattern, and it looks so complex, but like once you really get into the groove of it, it's very simple, but you have to pay very close attention because I have had to fix some mistakes in this project already, and it's not easy. So with that being said, this is where I'm at right now. Let me show you here so you can see, get a better look at the pattern. It's so stunning, really beautiful. I think the yarn is coming up a little bit darker on camera than it is in real life. It's really a beautiful, like, I don't know, taupey gray. So this is the wool that I'm using, and then I also am pairing it with the mohair. So this is Filcolana Saga in, I don't know, I can't remember the color, but it will be in the description. And then this is Filcolana Tilia in the color Latte. I think it's called like oatmeal or something, the Filcolana Saga. And it's 100% wool, and then obviously the silken mohair. And this is knit on 5.5mm needles, and so far, like, I love it. I love the fabric. It's so beautiful. The lace pattern is just like really stunning, and I cannot wait. I simply cannot wait to be finished with this. It's gonna be such a beautiful sweater. So a little bit about the pattern. It comes in, I think, only 3 sizes, and the sizes are based on the yarn combination that you use. So I'm knitting the second size, where she recommends 2 strands of Filcolana Saga and 1 strand of mohair. I think the first size is 1 strand of wool, 2 strands of mohair, and then the third one, the third size, I think is something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. And it's very nice. This is my first time working with any yarn from Filcolana, and I really enjoy them. I think I would absolutely continue buying Filcolana yarn, especially the Tilia. This is like the softest mohair I have ever felt. It is so gorgeous, so like silky and beautiful and fluffy. I'm obsessed with this. So if it was more easily accessible for me in the US, this would absolutely be my go-to mohair yarn. I think it's so much nicer even than knitting for Olive. So yeah, so I love it. The pattern is charted, like I mentioned. It definitely takes some practice and like a really thorough review of the chart and the pattern and the, you know, instructions before you start working on it. I actually had to make my swatch twice for this pattern because I was having a lot of trouble understanding the way that the chart was written, and I even actually had to like take the images from the website, like zoom in and try to figure out what the pattern was supposed to look like based on the finished photo. So this is a very complex pattern, certainly not for beginners, and it's my first lace pattern, and even that, I think like there are probably easier lace patterns to do as your first lace pattern, but I think that the sweater at the end will be so worth all of the work, and I can't wait to have it. So I'm very excited about this. I'm certainly not in a rush to finish this because I want to do it right and I want to do it well, so I'm not gonna drive myself too crazy trying to finish this quickly, but I am really looking forward to when I do get to finish it. So I think that's everything about this pattern, but if I forgot anything, please let me know in the comments because I don't take notes while I'm finished, or well, I don't look at notes while I am filming these. So if there's something that you'd like to know, please let me know and I will absolutely share it. So the last work in progress that I have is my boring pants. And I'm really excited about these because I have been wanting to knit a pair of pants for a really long time. So I'm glad that I'm finally getting to do it. I finally feel confident enough and like I have the skills to do it. So I don't have a ton of progress, so it's going to be very hard to show. But this is where I'm at so far. So I'm working on the waistband right now. Yeah, it's like not super far into it. I have maybe like 5 centimeters of work, so it's not a priority either because I know that this is going to be a very long-term project for me, but I'm glad that I started it at the very least. So this is the Boring Pants by Boring Knits, or Boring Knit. I think it's Boring Knit. And so this pattern design company does not exist anymore. I purchased this pattern last December, I think, when they were having their like closeout pattern sale. They ended up closing their design shop, and I bought all of their patterns discounted. So yeah, I'm really excited that I'm finally getting to work on it. I really have wanted pants for a long time, and so I feel like this is going to be such a, number one, like great piece to work on, and number two, great piece to have in my wardrobe. So I am using the Fisherman's Wool from Lion brand in the color Nature Brown. It's just a worsted weight, 100% wool. Fairly affordable. I think I bought like 5 of these and then I paid maybe like $50 or something. It was not expensive at all. I just got it from Joanne, so I'm excited to try this because I've heard a lot of really great things about this wool, so I cannot wait to have it in my wardrobe. I don't have a ton to say because obviously I've only worked a little bit of it, but I am really happy to be working on it finally. I think the hardest part is the beginning, so I'm gonna have to like sew the elastic band into it, and then after that it's gonna be kind of like smooth sailing, hopefully. So we'll see, but I'm very excited about this. I don't have much to say. Actually I do. Okay, so one thing is that I didn't meet gauge for this pattern. I think it calls for a 3mm needle, and I just didn't meet gauge with the 3mm needle. I guess my gauge is a little bit tighter, so I didn't have a 3.25mm needle, so I went up to a 3.5mm needle because I was off by like 2 stitches, so I figured that that is probably fine, but we'll see. I have no idea. So for the waistband, oh my gosh, I can't even with the sunlight. So with, what was I saying? The waistband I'm doing on the 3.5mm needle, and then I think the body or whatever, the rest of it and the legs are on they're supposed to be on 3.75. So I think I'm going to do the rest of the leg on maybe like a 4mm needle. Something like that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So, because I also don't really mind if it's a little bit looser, because number one, I'll have the elastic at the waist, and number two, I'd rather have like loose, flowy, kind of more wide leg pants than like a more fitted pant. So that's my thought process, but I guess we'll see how it goes. The only other thing to note is that I am knitting a size medium, which I think is the 3rd size. It was the one that was closest to my waist measurement. I think it's a little bit smaller, but again, with the elastic and having to go up a needle size, I think that it will be fine. And if it's not, like, I will wear them at home then. It's not a big deal. So I think that's all for now. Obviously, not a lot to say because I don't have too much progress, but you know, that's about it. So those are all of my whips for today's episode. I actually don't have any acquisitions either, so I mean, I guess I can talk about some of the things that I want to work on in 2024 for winter. Let's go with that. So my winter knitting plans, I don't have them fully baked out right now, but there are a couple of things that I do know that I would like to make, so I'm gonna share those at the very least. So one thing that is definitely on my list is the Cleo sweater from Milena Suhola, or Milena Paulina on Instagram. I don't know what it is. I guess it's the shape. I love the shape of this sweater. I love the yarn because the recommended yarn is the Majogarn Tweed Supreme, which I am obsessed with. So I'm really excited for another opportunity to work with that yarn. I already have some to work on another sweater with, and I only did a swatch, but I loved the way that it felt and the way it's turning out. So I think any opportunity to work with that yarn, I'm going to be really excited about. Some other things that I would like to work on, I think, is I would like to do a dress for the spring, and in order for me to have it available to wear in the spring, I need to start it in the winter. So I am thinking about the All Good dress from Knitonomy. I just think it's a really like super easy, carefree kind of t-shirt style dress, but obviously it's knit. It's got like a loose short sleeve. It's nice, long, straight fit, and I think it's just a really great staple piece. I think it's something that I will want to wear all throughout the spring and into the fall, so it's on my list. Plus I have decided that I would like to try the Oonling, I think it's number 12 and 13 or 11 and 13, something like that. It's their everyday wool, and which is like a cotton wool blend, and then hold it with the cashmere thread that they have. So I just feel like that's a perfect pattern to let that yarn like shine and do its thing. So I'm really excited. I'm planning to buy the yarn for that sometime in the next month, and you know, probably cast on immediately, just because it is going to be another kind of long-term project for me. What else is on my list? So I also have the desire to make a V-neck sweater. I think I don't have nearly enough V-neck sweaters in my wardrobe. I just tend to gravitate toward a crew neck style sweater, but I love the look of a layered, you know, t-shirt with a V-neck sweater, or like a nice neck scarf and a V-neck sweater. So I have a couple that I've like purchased from stores, but I really would like to try making one. However, I'm having a lot of trouble finding a pattern that I really like. Nothing seems to be like exactly what I'm looking for, so I've been thinking that maybe I might just kind of design my own based on the ones that I purchased in store. The ones that I have from the store are like exactly what I'm looking for. Oh my god, I can't stand the lighting right now. Cannot stand the lighting. The ones that I've purchased from the store are exactly what I'm looking for, so I think if I just take the measurements and I can buy the yarn that the exact yarn that I want to use and not what fits the pattern best, I think might be the best option for me. So we'll see how that goes. That's something I'd like to do pretty soon, but I don't know, we'll see. I also have, yarn that I purchased over the summer and in the fall that is for projects I haven't even gotten to yet. So I'd still like to make my October sweater by Petite Knit. I'd still like to make the Eva cardigan. I have the anemone cardigan on my list from Le Knit. There's, the Leon sweater, it's chunky, Leon sweater chunky, but without stripes. And, the Yoon sweater by November Knit. So I have a lot of things that I would like to make. It's just a matter of like what is a priority. And then something else that is on my list for the winter is the Winter's Pullover by Ozetta. I have maybe like 2 turtlenecks in my entire sweater collection, so I think that is something that I'm planning to prioritize a little bit more, because it's, kind of a gap that's in my wardrobe. So I think, priorities for me this coming season is probably going to be the Leon sweater, yes but no, the Winter's Pullover from Ozetta, and then I think the figuring out a v-neck sweater pattern. Those are priorities, and then everything else will kind of come as I finish things, but we'll see. I have a lot of things. I have a very big yarn stash right now, which I don't feel super comfortable with. I never intended to have a big stash, and so I just want to make sure that I am being smart about buying yarn and making sure that I'm actually going to use it. So that's a conversation for another time, but I have a lot of things that I'd like to make, and it's just simply not enough hands to do it. So we'll see how it goes, but I think that is all for now. I really wanted to make this a short video, and I think I have done that successfully. So that is all for today. This is the last podcast episode of the year. I haven't decided if I'm going to do an everything I made in 2023, because I did just do everything I made in my first year of knitting, which is basically the same thing, since I won't have any more finished objects for this year. So let me know if you'd like to see it. Otherwise, I think that is all for now, and I guess I'll see you in January. So if you enjoy my videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Feel free to like and comment, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!